Morning, everybody. It is another great Tuesday morning here in Utah, and we're going to talk today about a couple of buttons that were combined, so two into one. A couple of those ones we want to look at, make sure that we know what we're doing and how we're going to still find all the tools that we're used to in earlier versions of Aspire. So let's go ahead and get to work. Click on Create a New File here. We're going to stay with our 12 by 12 by 3/4, Z on top, XY datum in the bottom left-hand corner, and I like my modeling resolution at very high. So I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. All right. First tool we're going to look at is going to be importing bitmap. Second tool we're going to look at is importing vectors. And in Aspire 12, if we take a look at this one right here, it's either or. So it's importing bitmaps or importing vectors, and it's the same button. Now, that to me actually makes a lot of sense because sometimes there are PDFs that have vectors in them, and sometimes there's PDFs that don't have vectors on them. And of course, your bitmaps, your GIFs, TIFFs, your BMPs, your JPEGs, they're all there. In your vectors, your DXF, EPS, AI files, DWGs, those are also all options in here. So let's go ahead and click on that one. And let's go see if we can't find something here. So if I wanted to bring in, for instance, the toilet paper holder, this is a project that I did a little while back that you're going to see a video on. I can import my vectors. They're all there. They're already lined up. They look great. Now, I don't want to do that, so we're going to Control Z. This one is import bitmaps or vectors. So if we go over to our internet here, and we just go to images, and let's look up cheese. Why cheese? Because we want to. Okay, and then we're going to go over to our tools, and I might say I want to go to the type. I'm going to look for a clip art type. Okay, and maybe I want to bring in this piece of cheese here. Now this one's licensable, so let's go see if we can find one that's not. So that's licensable as well. I'm going to go to this guy here. Looks great. Okay, public domain, love it. So right click on it. Save image as. We're just going to call this thing cheese. Why we decided to import cheese, I don't know either. We're just going to do it. So we're going to click on our same button here. This time we're going to be importing a bitmap, not a vector. Okay, we'll go find our cheese, and it's in. So now you can modify this, or you can turn it into a photo vcarve, or you can turn this, into a tracing, to a regular vcarve, whatever you want to do with it. But this is the button, so it didn't go away. They just combined two of them, and they combined the two of them, I believe, so that they had space for the next one in line over here, import the component or 3D model. Now, if you remember in Aspire 11.5, this was on a whole different tab. It was called modeling. Again, they've combined modeling and drawing all into design over here. So this is where we create everything. And so up here in the top where they were importing everything else, it was important to bring up that import a component as well as vectors and bitmaps. So now they're all together here up on top, and this button here combines both of them, importing your DXFs, DWGs, EPSs, bitmaps, TIFFs, GIFs, all those options, they're all in here. So it's a phenomenal tool, really like it. I like that it's combined because it makes good sense. If you haven't noticed these ones up here, this is my new favorite tool so far. This is toggle bitmap visibility. So I can just turn that on or off here instead of having to go up here to my layers and turning off and on. A lot more clicks doing this than it is just to click right over here. So I really like this one when I'm tracing, drawing, and I just want to get it out of the way while I'm done working with it, but I may want to keep it for later. So great tool there. Let's go ahead and delete this. And the next tool we're going to look at is one that actually took me a minute to find. That is the draw text. Now, draw text, you have two options here. You have up here in the very top, and it's small, so if you miss it, I did too. You have text, and you have text in a box. Now, if you click text in a box and you don't have a vector selected, it selects your entire workpiece. This is a 12 by 12, so your bounding box is 12 by 12. If you do have, a box or a shape, it doesn't have to be a square, and you select this and say in a box, it's going to give you the bounding box of the box that was selected. So text in a box. Of course, it all just kind of packs in there. Okay. Or if you want to do text not in a box, then you can click where you want it, set your heights, and you can do the same thing, and it will go out and about the boundary or whatever else. So those are the two icons that I found that were most confusing of where did it go, where did it end up, essentially. So we're going to go ahead and just talk about those just a little bit, make sure that you could find those and how to use them. So two tools became one. Text in a box, all became just draw text, and then you define what kind of text you want up here. Okay? Importing vectors and importing bitmaps became one button, and whatever you select becomes whatever comes in. So it can be a vector, it can be a bitmap. Those are the two tools that I've noticed that were harder to find than any of the other new tools that are out here. Now there is one tool that I am kind of sad they don't have anymore, and that is the undo and redo tool up here. You can still do them by going up here to edit, and of course doing Control Z, and then redo is Control Y, just like your regular buttons in any other Windows program. Copy, paste, undo, redo are always the same. Control C, Control V, Control Y, and so they're all there, but it was nice to just have the little buttons you could just click up here. Unfortunately, those are gone. Now, one last thing just to show you, because I think it's really cool and it does make good sense to me. If I'm going to spend most of my time modeling, I'm going to drag my mouse all the way down to here to work on those, and maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want these up here a little higher. So I can actually just click on File Operations, and they disappear. Click on Create Vectors, they disappear. Transform Objects, disappear. So I can turn off the things that I'm not going to be using and just work on the things I'm going to be using. And they're all still there, they're just hidden instead of in their flyout. Click on them again, of course, they'll all come back. So it's just a nice little addition. Something I probably won't use very often, but if I wanted to, it's nice to know that they're there. All right. If there's any questions about today, give me a holler. If there's something that you want to see done, let me know. Love to take a look at it. All the rest of the tools here are all still the same. Your group, your ungroup, they're all still there, also the same. The icons are all pretty much the same. We're going to get down into the modeling next time, and we're going to talk about those, how those icons have changed, what they've done to those, and how they've made them a little bit better. Well, a lot better in a couple options here as well. But we'll do that next time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the spring season that's upon us. Be kind to each other. We'll see you guys in the next one.